Well, hello, planner babes, and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and select the bell for notifications. Well, first, I want to thank all my awesome Patreon members who help make it possible to create videos like this. And here they are. Well, thank you guys so much for supporting me on Patreon. And if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. Okay, you guys, I am so super excited to tell you guys about this and show you how I did it. I'm going to show you some different stages, but this actually is not a real lemon. I didn't have any lemons left. I need to go to the store or any citrus fruit. I've been cutting them up and doing all kinds of stuff. I'm going to the store today, but this is actually what this one was before. It was definitely a smaller lemon, although I have much bigger lemons normally at home as well. But yeah, we're just going to be using citrus fruit, or this is what you want to use, a citrus fruit, but also this one is not even citrus, y'all. This one came from, guess what? Guess what? From cantaloupe. I know. And I still plan on actually doing one or trying to do one with a baby watermelon as well. This was I guess an average sized cantaloupe, but these were, oh, there's another one right here. These were from oranges. Either, I think this one was from an orange and this one was from a grapefruit. And this one was like probably the top of this because you know they dry out, but I'm going to tell you guys about that. So I'm going to kind of show you sort of the stages. So you know you would start out, we'll go ahead and let you guys be here on the right side. You start out with some kind of fruit. So I did a bunch of, or worked with a bunch of lemons, oranges, and grapefruit. So let's take out and let me show you what I just got them kind of in this bag in different stages. All right, so let's start with this. Okay, I know everybody wants to be in the spotlight. Isn't that how it is? Okay, I want to show you some that haven't been painted. All right, so you start with this, right? You know what? Let's move these things. They're probably distracting. Okay, you're going to start again with a citrus fruit of some kind. And let me show you. You're going to cut this in half, right? This way. Cut this in half this way. So you have two halves of this citrus fruit. Cut that way. And so this was a lemon. So this is half. This was a half of another lemon, and I'll talk about that in a second. And this was half of an orange, okay? And so as you can see, you know, when you cut it in half this way, let's see, I think this one of these has it picking out a little more than the others. It might have been, but you see in here, you know how you have all, like if you dig out, if you eat the orange with your mouth, you know, just sink your teeth into it, or if you take a spoon and eat that, or if you just kind of dig it out. So when you dig it out, you want to get out all, not all, because you can't get every single of these little white pieces out, but you want to dig out all of the fruit to where all you have is just a few of these little, like, yeah, this one has have some kind of flaking in there, just a little. Now don't keep doing it and doing it to where you feel like I want to have not one single little tiny string in here, because you'll never get there. And what you wind up doing is just punching a hole inside of this, because it'll be soft and it won't be hard. And then you just sit it out to dry, or you can dry it, you know, you can sit it outside. But if you sit it outside, I don't really recommend that, because you get ants and you know, insects crawling into it. But you can sit it out on the counter. It will take several days to a week or longer, depending on how dry it is where you live or what the, you know, weather is like. Or you can try drying it in the oven. I didn't do that on all of mine. I just let them sit out and dry however long they took to dry. And then when they dry, they will be hard. For the citrus fruit anyway. See how hard that is? Super, super hard. I just want you to hear, this one sounds a little bit not as hard, but it's completely dry. It's been dry for weeks. Okay, and then if you want, so this, I just kind of shaped it as it was drying so that it would kind of make a bowl. But if you feel like, you know how these oranges and, I'm sorry, lemons tend to have this little really pointed piece where you can't really make it sit like you want it to, not for long anyway. You can cut this off, and then that will need to dry too, because you're going to paint it anyway. Yeah, and so that's, you still got some little dry flakes here. And that's what you wind up with. So again, you just take a fresh fruit, you eat out you cut it in half this way. Okay, you dig out all of the fruit and as much of these little, stringy things as you can, and then let it dry out completely. Now, sometimes I feel like all of the lemons sounded super, super hard, and the orange too. But when I did the cantaloupe, so it's totally different. It wasn't as hard. So let's talk about that, and then we'll get them all to the place where they're ready to paint. Okay, this again was a cantaloupe. It was really, really, really hard to get it to a place where I could paint it, because to dig out the cantaloupe, if you had cantaloupe, you guys, it's not where you can just easily dig it out like a citrus fruit. And so I took out chunks of it with a spoon. I kept doing that until I felt like I got as much of the fruit out as I could without tearing up the rind, because it's really soft on the cantaloupe. Now on the watermelon, I haven't done yet. I have that a rind sitting in the fridge that still has fruit that needs to be dug out of it, because all of it's not there. I don't know how hard that's going to be, because I feel like that rind is pretty hard to begin with, but we will see. And so you get it out, and then it took a long time to dry. But again, I didn't put anything in the oven to see how long it would take. It took a long time to dry, and I still feel like, and I sat everything, I think this one I sat out to dry in the house for about a week, and then I started sitting it out outside, but really watching it, because it still had spaces in here that felt a little sticky. But when I felt like, okay, that's as long as I can wait, it's a little bit of stickiness, then I went ahead and started working with it, okay? So then, you take these, let's say we take this one, which I really like the shape of it, really like this. I don't recommend, let me tell you, I did try to let one of these dry with like a cup sitting in it when it was still kind of wet, to see if it would take the shape I wanted. But then, of course, this is carbon-based material. It started breaking down, so mold formed around it. So don't do that. But as it's drying, maybe once a day, kind of, shape it. That's what I kind of did with this as it was drying. Okay, so then I just painted it. And I used cheap paint. I just used all of these. I just used different paint that I had from Five Below, just for fun, easy crafting, nothing special whatsoever, as far as these go. All right, just some inexpensive paint. And then after I painted it, so I will say that the fruit, it's really orange or very yellow. And so if you wanted to put a base coat first, or put some gesso or some textured paste first, I did that inside of this, because it was just, it's the even the darker paints, I had to do several coats sometimes. So but I painted them, got the multiple coats that I wanted. And then this one had like this discoloration in it, because it was really an orange that was pretty much going bad. And so I just painted over the discoloration after I did this bluish purple with black. Yeah. And so I did that. And then this one, like I said, I put gesso in first, so that it was white all inside and all on the outside, because there's that kind of unique design on cantaloupe. And I let all of that dry, and then I painted coats. The lighter coats, they just take longer. Now if you want to spray paint, you can do that. I just wanted to use a lot of different colors and use what I had, so I didn't buy anything. So I did multiple coats. Now, after everything dried, for the solid color coats, just this pinkish in here and this greenish here and this black. Now on these, let's see, these three here, I took my time, used the right size brush, and covered them with Mod Podge. Now you can use other, I can't think of what it's called right now, but there's a clear coating that you can put on that I use for fine art projects. You can use that, and then you wouldn't have to worry about it. Anything like drying white, like a little white mountain or something like that. So I took my time and really pressed and did the right amount, and it dried, and everything looked great on all three of these, right? So this is more of a saucer, really. This I put my jewelry in at night, y'all. Yeah, and you can put your little jewelry or your ring at the sink in here. You can put paper clips. You can put little things from your craft room for little bits and pieces. You can put those in different places. You can put it just to decorate. Some of these I'm going to decorate my living room when my house gets all back together, y'all, because, you know, we had 2 different leaks and water damage, and we're not even home right now, so it's a whole nother story. So yeah, so I lost my train of thought, y'all. What was I saying? Oh, okay. So then I covered them and let them dry. And, you know, I mean, this is so amazing, y'all. This amazes me that this was fruit. This is fruit. And it's a bowl and it's beautiful. Okay. This one, all of these 3, when I did them, I was rushing. I put too much, I used too big of a brush. I put too much Mod Podge. And this has all these different crevices. And when they dry, there were like little dry white mounds everywhere. So then what I did is I took some expensive gold paint that I already had, and I just put it on the end of a paper towel. Actually, let me get that. Okay, so this is what I used, and I just dabbed paint, and then I just dabbed it all around on top of where the dried Mod Podge was. And then I took, when that dried, and this one, these 2, I used both the gold, and then I also used some pewter, more expensive paint that I already had. And then after those dried, then I took my time with a much smaller brush and Mod Podge and sealed everything in. And I am so thrilled, you guys, to go from this stuff, what? To this. Oh, I love it so, so much. All right. Oh, I wanted to tell y'all, so I'm working on a couple other, I want to show you sort of stages. So, you know, from that, then this was me painting. And I did like 3 coats of this lavender, and it was still really showing up. So I'm not finished with this. And then I put a darker paint. I put some darker in the inside. So this is from that. This is 1, 2. You can see a lot of orange. Actually, I think I painted that orange. I think this was a lemon. I painted orange in this other color. Yeah, and so I'm still working on those. Still working on this one. And there's the other side. And then I am going to be doing, so you know how you can take an orange and cut it in half and then cut that into individual little bite-sized pieces? And that's what you get these I'm working on. I'm going to turn these into some sort of flower, I think. So I'll let you guys know when I get that done. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. These are other pieces. Sorry, I'm dropping pieces. But these are other ones I'm still working on. I mean, this is endless. I could be doing this forever, y'all. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and comment and share. It really helps my channel a lot, and it tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend my videos. You guys, please take care of your soul and your body, because when one area suffers, they all suffer. Please continue to pray for me, and I'll continue to pray for you. And until next time, everyone, happy planning.